Here's the thing. We're a team of thieves. And when you do this, you're bound to make enemies.
These days, adapting video games into movies and series is a hot trend, and in recent years, some good works have been produced that cater to the fans of these games. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is one such adaptation, although it did not garner as the Mario animation. Hello, dear viewers of the Movie Review channel. I hope you're doing well. Today, I want to introduce you to another good adaptation. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is based on the Dungeons & Dragons franchise, which was originally a popular tabletop game in the 1970s and has since been adapted into video games. Expect a highly entertaining movie from this, but when it comes to adaptations like these, it's essential to manage our expectations. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves has a straightforward and clear story that, after providing a brief setup, gets straight into the narrative without unnecessary detours. One notable strength of this film is that the director and screenwriter, Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis DeLay, are clear about their intentions from the start. The overall goal of the film is to present an entertaining experience rather than focusing on delivering a highly impactful story. Unlike some other adaptations, Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves has aimed to provide more of the gaming experience to the audience. While it does take some time to set up the film, the viewer never gets confused and you get to know the characters more as the story progresses, which is one of the film's strong points. Another noticeable aspect of Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is the inclusion of comedy alongside action, which is an integral part of the movie and is not overly interrupted. Surprisingly, there is no extraneous comedy, and it is stopped in time so as not to become tiresome. In contrast to the expectations, there is no extra unnecessary comedy, and it is used in moderation so that it doesn't become disruptive. Even in some scenes, we witness serious and emotional moments, and these elements are presented in perfect balance to the audience. The humor in the film is amusing, especially in the cemetery scene, which is one of the most creative and engaging parts of the film. Visually, the film is quite enjoyable, and the beautiful location in Iceland and Ireland with the use of digital effects become visually stunning. The action scenes don't have much depth but serve the film well to provide an acceptable level of entertainment. You shouldn't expect action scenes on the level of John Wick, but the various characters with their different abilities and powers create quite engaging action sequences. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves doesn't focus too much on the lore of the fantasy world, but rather showcases the beauty of the game. It's worth mentioning that, although the special effects overall are acceptable, there may be moments in the film where the special effects can be bothersome to the viewer. Another point to note is that the development of the negative character is quite superficial. While Hugh Grant's presence in the film is engaging, the character's motivations are somewhat disheartening and don't entirely cut off our hopes for them. The film features an ensemble cast including Chris Pine, Michael Rodriguez, Regé-Jean Page, Justice Smith, Sophia Lillis, and Hugh Grant, all of whom delivered good performances. The musical score is composed by Lauren Boff. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, despite having a budget of $150 million, only grossed $207 million, which is considered a failure for the film. Audience and critic reactions have generally been positive, receiving a 3.7 out of 10 rating from IMDb users. Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is an engaging adaptation of video games that, with a good cast and plausible story and delightful humor and comedy, presents a thoroughly entertaining film to the audience. With these characteristics in mind, it can be said that this film is one of the pleasant surprises of the cinema in 2023. Well, we've come to the end of this segment on the Movie Review channel. If you have any specific opinions or suggestions, you can share them with us and other users in the comments section. Your likes and comments provide us with energy and help us continue on this path even with more strength. Thank you for being with us to this point.